we read a decodable text with our students? Let me give you some examples. So let's say we're ready to read this text, and that means that we've learnt all of the sounds that we needed to for this text, and we've done lots of word reading practice and some spelling practice before we actually touch this text. One of the things that we're not going to do is we're not going to do a lot of pre-talking. So we're not going to say, okay, well, this book is called The Quest. And then when was the time were you on a quest? Do you know what a quest is? What might you do on a quest? I wonder where they're up to. We're not going to do lots of that pre-talking. The first time we read this text, remember, our primary purpose is to practice decoding. So the first thing we're going to do is say, let's read the title. You have a go. And I know you can do it because you know all of these sounds. And some students might need a bit of a reminder that it's okay, you know how to do this. Encourage them to use their finger, point to the words as they go. And I tend to say to students, you be in the driver's seat, you're the boss, use your finger. Sometimes we might need to help them. The quest. Read it again. The quest. And at that point, I might say, do you know what a quest is? And we're not going to have a big discussion about it, but if they don't know, I'm going to say it's like an adventure. Yeah, it's like a mission. We're off to discover something or do something. So before we start reading, we want to warm students up. And in most decodables, either the front or the back of the book, there's going to be lists of words. Here in the Dandelion books, they're right at the back. So we have some words we can read here. So from top to bottom, we can practice reading those, and you can see they're organised into the target graphemes. And there's also these words at the back here, which you could play as a game, but you can also just use them to do some warm-up reading. So quest, quick, quiz. I'm not doing the reading, the students are doing the reading. This is really important because this is the point at which we can correct some errors. Remind them, oh, what's that sound? Those two letters together, we say it as qua. Now, I know those are two sounds, but this is a special sound. The QU is the qua sound, two sounds together. And so we're going to remind them of that. We're going to remind them, what do you do when you get stuck? You look at the letters, you point with your finger, and you start at the beginning, and you blend through the word. So we're going to help them with those blending strategies, blending all the way through. One of the things that's really handy to do for students is to remind them when you get stuck or it all just seems too much, and these words have quite a few letters in them, do you know what we can do? We can cover up the words with our finger. And let's just read that, the QU. How do we read that? Qua. Great. What's the next sound? Put that together. Quit. 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 So we're helping students to move through those words. So that's why this word reading is really important. And then they're ready to read. And so then when we get started, we want the students to do the work. We don't need to read to them because this is their opportunity to practice their reading skills. Our job when they're reading is to just support and make sure that they keep focusing on decoding and blending and then listening. Did that sound right? Did they blend that correctly? And then doing lots of repeated reading. That's what our job is. So in the next video, we're going to talk about what do we do when students make an error.